How's it going, everyone? Equinox Phoenix here, and today we are going to talk about Doctor Who Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8, titled Wish World and the Reality War. Oh my life. This episode has... These two episodes have good... Oh, especially 8. Oh boy. Anyway, we begin episode 7 in Bavaria. In 1865, we 1865. That's Anyway, we joined the Rani, it's scary lady. Anyway, we joined the Rani and oh man. Oh man. She enters the house of a seventh son of a seventh son. Big double seven, right? Because said seventh son of a seventh son is having his seventh son. So we now have seventh son cubed. Literally triple sevens. Woo! We've hit the jackpot. She comes in and steals the baby, right? Because, evil villain. And oh boy. Uh uh anyway, she gives like the baby a little kiss on the forehead and then breathes out, turning the mother into violets, turning the father into a wise old owl, turning the children into ducks. And cut to 2025. 160 years later. We find the Doctor and Belinda in bed together. Wait, we last left them on the TARDIS and it went boom. What's going on? Now they're waking up in bed and they're like, morning. They go like really... they seem like a old 1950s-esque, like 1950s, 1960s-esque husband and wife. They even give each other a good morning kiss. Now, wait a minute. Anyway, we also get to see, once more, Poppy from Space Babies and the Story Engine. Wait. That doesn't sound right. What is Space Baby doing on Earth? I am so very, very confused. Anyway, Belinda says something about having to go to work, having to do laundry and stuff. Anyway, the Doctor goes off. We learned he's going by the name of John Smith. Anyway, Mr. Smith. Ugh. Anyway, he goes off to work because, it's old mid 1900s style things. And we meet Melanie, who is the cops are doing this like really weird thing where they slip through the tables and crash, and she dumps a bunch of them into the trash can. Is really weird. Now he heads off to work at an insurance agent. Uh, it's weird, right? It's unit, right? But it's called something else. Uh, Let me see if I can find it. Uh, it's some insurance company, right? Uh, I can't find the name of it. Wow. Anyway, it's unit. It's unit, but not right. It's like Wish World unit. It's it's some kind of insurance company. Anyway, it's not important. He goes to work there, and he he's almost late, right? He's just barely 2 minutes early. Um and there's a conversation with Kate about um how time does no one favors, that even if he did stay at work late, yes, the day before. uh Now he sits next to Ibrahim. What's Ibrahim's last name again? Oh, his first name's Christopher. Anyway, so he sits next to Colonel Ibrahim, who's in a suit, and they're like chatting it up. Work hasn't started yet, and John tells Christopher that he should ask Kate out. She's really into him. And when he expresses doubt, he replies, "Oh, don't you worry, you're a beautiful man." And it's like, and then like the music goes like silent, right? So it's like, wait, he's like, "You're a man. How could you find another man? How could you find another man beautiful?" And he's like, I, it like, and here we realize, oh, this world's got some major issues outside of just the weird shit going on. There's some even weirder shit. It's like, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Anyway, now we see the Ronnie, our new one, uh, on a flying Segway thing. She comes in with fat. It is how she describes it. And she gives it to Mrs. Flood, who asks salad or sandwich. It goes into a salad for Conrad, who is here reading out of a book. Now, the book is called Doctor Who and something something, right? He's reading stories about the Doctor. Um, Here we learn that the baby is actually here, and that Conrad is, I guess, holding Wish World together with his wish. And they make a note of how the baby never cries, only chuckles. And we hear the chuckle. Ha 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 ha. And it's just spine tingling. It's like, that should not come out of a baby, like, ever. Woo! We find out it is Desiderium, meaning uh, to long want, etc. I forget what there was. Hold on, I had the thing open. I guess it closed it. Desiderium meaning. An ardent desire or longing, particularly a feeling of loss or grief for something lost. The god of wishes. And oh man, oh man. This explains a oh. Anyway, elsewhere, the not the elsewhere, Ruby is wandering the streets, very lost like, and how do I put this? She meets Shirley Bingham, who seems to now be homeless. Now, she meets with Shirley and friends, and it's like it, they come to realize that they're like seeing in between the cracks. Now, John Smith goes home, and as he's drinking, as you do, uh, he's watching TV, and for like maybe not even a quarter of a second, right? It's literally like maybe 3 or 4 frames, flashes Susan, his granddaughter, and then enter Rogue, where he's like, "Look, I don't got much time. Tables don't do that," referring to the cups falling through and shattering and whatnot. And he's right. Tables don't do that. Not even in Doctor Who. So what the ever-loving fuck's going on? So he goes into the kitchen and starts crashing cups. And Belinda comes downstairs and asks what's going on. Now, Belinda's been having thoughts, which is now relevant. When her mom and her aunt came to visit, earlier in the day, they're like, "How long were you in labor with Poppy?" And she couldn't give an answer. And she couldn't give an answer, and it was like, wait, no, you should know that. And it's like dot 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 dot. And next frame, she's walking out into the woods and just screaming. Now, these thoughts culminate in her hearing who she believes to be her husband is expressing doubts. Now, we've learned early in the episode when Ruby visited that when someone expresses doubts, you call in a hotline. She calls the hotline, reports her husband. Now, John Smith gets arrested. But Mrs. Flood comes in and also arrests Belinda because she knew he was expressing the doubts because she herself had been expressing. It grows and festers and spreads. And they are brought to the Bone Palace, where we meet the Rani. Both of them. And the Rani proceeds to then explain everything, reveal that John Smith is actually the Doctor, and that she and Mrs. Flood are the Rani. And they say it like together. I wish I could like properly like say. And Belinda's like, no, I have a daughter. Like, what are you saying? And it like there's like a cascade. Now, the Rani decides, let's dance, right? And her and the Doctor just decide to do a waltz. As you do. Not the first time the Doctor has danced with a Time Lady. And uh what's the word? Yeah. Not the first time. Now, while they're dancing, he starts to flash through his previous lives. From 1 to 8 to war to 9, 10, 11, 12, fugitive, even though that's well before William Hartnell's Doctor. 14, and obviously him right now. He's just flashing through, and he's like, he starts to like, it clicks in his head. Now, Ronnie kicks him out and says, "I can't have you messing with my plans." Bring, and sends him off to his doom. Right? She disconnects the balconies on, and he, falls to his doom. Or does he? Right as the clock strikes midnight, enter Anita. Anita Ben from Joy to the World. Our hotel manager. An old friend and companion and confidant and all of these things. She pulls the Doctor in outside of May the 23rd as it flips back from almost midnight to 7 a.m. Wait. Now I'm very confused. It's 7 a.m. and Belinda wakes up to nobody in bed with her? Uh, Ruby wakes up, or more clicks into place as she's getting yelled at by her mom and grandmother, and it's like, ooh, wait, what's going on? It's like shit's being weird. It's like, yeah, happy May the 23rd. Wait, something's not right here. Now, the Doctor returns home, right? And Belinda's like, "Are you there?" He's like, "It's just me, who's up there." And he comes down. And as he comes down, he takes off his suit jacket, right? Takes off the blazer, comes in, throws it, drops it on the floor, and his clothes go from the drip to the drip, right? His pants now have like a skirt wrapped around it and everything. This is the Doctor. John Smith is no more. Enter the Doctor. Anyway, he walks into the kitchen with Belinda and Poppy and has them follow him into because literally it's just the next scene over is them entering the Time Hotel. Anyway, and as they enter real time, it starts to click. The gears start turning, and suddenly, Doctor? Poppy? Doctor? And so they open another door. The unit HQ. And he walks out, strutting his stuff as you do. And Anita opens multiple doors. Boom, 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 throughout the room. And each time it opens, something breaks. People start to realize, wait a minute. What am I dressed like this for? What am I doing? And suddenly Unit HQ is back, baby! Now, Anita has to keep the door open, and an alert goes off in the Bone Palace. And while that is happening, so Mrs. Flood and our new Ronnie go in, and they're like, "What's going on?" Okay, so she teleports. It's like this weird phasing thing. It's really weird. Um, but hey, as you do, comes in and is like, ugh, you could have run anywhere and you chose half a mile away. And she's like, oh, like, I am better than you. And she explains her plan and all of this. Now, uh, she starts dissing on Ruby for some reason, um, who has arrived since with all the breaks. They like activated the chips that apparently Unit has in everyone. Um, to awaken them to reality. And she starts dissing on Mel and Ruby, and it's when Ruby says, I've never met you in my life, enter Mrs. Flood, who mentioned bi-generation. That they bi-generated and all of this. Now, the Ronnie and the Doctor have a sonic screwdriver fight, right? Where it looks like the Doctor loses, but we later find out he didn't. He copied her code and uses it to pull her fancy space Segway thing to bring it to him. He then goes, crashes into the Bone Palace. Ruby uses the old teleporty vest thing that we last saw with Martha Jones way back when during the 10th era. And I'm just like, what? The Indigo device. Now, this happens. Ruby shows up. Belinda and Poppy end up in what's the word? In a zero room outside of time and space because they are under the assumption that Poppy is part of a wish world, and so if they get rid of wish world, she would then disappear. Belinda goes in, very motherly and all that. Good. Also, we see the return of Rose. Now, while this is happening, Conrad holds Ruby at gunpoint, right? And she has like a proper heart-to-heart with him. And the Doctor goes and confronts the Ronnie, where he, I guess, decides, okay, let's see Omega, right? Whatever. Right, I can stop Omega, right? Well, when they let him in, because it's kind of too late for him to stop Omega entering, so he's like, okay, fine, whatever. We know how it is, right? We know the Doctor's always got a plan. He's a clever one. Anyway, enter Omega, but there's a problem. The Underverse is a place of legends, so Omega, I'm saying it like an American. It's not like the proper pronunciation. The proper pronunciation is Omega, which is not something I can say naturally while I'm on in a sentence. So there's the proper pronunciation once. We're going to go with Omega from now on. Now enter Omega. Now Omega has become a legend himself. The Mad God. He is a Titan. The Mad God, right? He comes in all grotesque looking and giant. And he's like, I will feast on the Time Lords. He eats the Ronnie. And Mrs. Flood is like, well, so much for the two Ronnies. Puts the time bracelet thing that the Ronnie just like, it's a vortex manipulator. At the end of the day, it's a vortex manipulator. She presses the button, activates it, and beams out. She's like, I'm out, right? She pulls a master and just like, I'm out. Bye. It's like, bye, bitches. And so the Doctor's like, well, thanks for that. Man, looks like you win. I would need I got nothing right now. I'm just wishing I had a weapon that was hidden in plain sight, and keeps walking backwards and hits the Vindicator. A weapon hidden in plain sight. He then pulls it down, aims it at Omega, and he's like, "Feel the power of 1,000 supernovas." Boom! He blasts Omega. Beam back into the void. And the door seals on its own, naturally. Boom. Now, during this epic battle, Ruby teleported from in front of Conrad to behind him, picked up the baby, wished for Conrad's happiness. Huh? You know, she does the thing. She kisses the baby on the forehead and then wishes for Conrad's happiness. And the end of Wishworld. By wishing for the end of Wishworld, we realize the room that Conrad is sitting in is the TARDIS. Right? It's like clicking into place, everything's clicking, blah, 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 it's fixing. Now, it's all normal, right? We get Belinda, Ruby, Poppy, and okay, so they go back to Unit HQ, where the Zero Room is. They go pick up Belinda and Poppy, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna be excited. Let's go!" Right? Belinda's like had like a change of mind, and it's like, yeah, it's whatever. The TARDIS is adapting. It's now, instead of super cold, it's actually pretty hot because, you know, the baby. Now, while they're all celebrating and being all happy, go, look, we're gonna go to Neptune. We're gonna see the stars. We're gonna see New Delhi. All of these things are happening. Poppy disappears from the cot. Ruby is the first to notice, and she's like, wait, what happened to the baby? Guys, someone disappeared. They're all like, Ruby, there was no baby. And then the cot disappears, and then they go outside, and it's all... But then Ruby's like, no, Doctor, you don't leave even one person behind. Remember, you saved me all those years ago when I blipped out. Because the Goblin King haven't taken her. So he went back to the day she was left on the church and saved her and all of this. And then Belinda's like, wait, yeah. When I had like the time explosion thingy, you saved me as well. He went up and down her timeline, saved her from being run over when she was 7 and all of these things. And it's like, and the Doctor's like, oh, wait, someone's missing. Now, he says that reality has shifted by 1 degree, and he wants to shift it back. But there's only one thing left. One thing in the universe strong enough to puncture a hole that large in time and space to shift it back. The last of the Time Lords. Now, he goes into the vortex and he's gonna, you know, punch regeneration energy into the vortex, and the TARDIS is like, and then all of a sudden he's like, I was the best of us, right? Because the TARDIS shows him all of his lives. In comes like, maybe the best male of us, and it's like, what? Hey, wait a minute! I know that voice. Enter 13. It's Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor. Ah! And he's like, huh? What? Confusion? Confusion? I shouldn't do that while I'm sitting in a chair. I make it look like I have like 50 chins. Look. Okay, sorry, I really shouldn't do that. And he's like, what's going on? They like, and she's like, okay, you might want to do a small tiny change. And that should work. And he mentions that it's gonna take his soul and it's not gonna be able to bi-generate it. He's not gonna be able to like lean on bi-generation. Obviously, 13 doesn't know what that is. She's like, what? Anyway, they set it all up so he can do it, and it'll work, and he'll survive in all of this. They hug, say, "I love you, Doctor. Goodbye, Doctor." All of these things, and he tells 13 that Yaz knows how she feels about Yaz, and that also she never tells Yaz, which confirmation the Doctor was in love with Yaz, which, yes, yes, thank you. Thank you, Russell, for telling us, for just putting it out there and having 13 say it. Right? The fact that 13 admits to it is finally the sentence we've all been waiting for and never got. Anyway, he then starts focusing his regeneration energy with his hands like this and slams it into the TARDIS's console, you know, where the time vortex is, and it kind of boom shatters the reality. Literally, they have like a shattering animation, which it was great. I loved it. But not something I wanted to rely on. Now he wakes up in Belinda's backyard. With his hands all regeneration-y glow. And he's like, no, no, not yet. Right. Like, blows it out like it's a candle. He goes, and we find out that, Poppy is supposedly the, anyway, we find out that Poppy is Belinda's daughter with a man named Richie Akingbola. Who? And then it kind of flashes to all of the to some unseen scenes, right? Scenes from that would have taken place in previous episodes, but were never shown. Where Belinda is telling him she has to get back home. It's all good. And she mentions Poppy repeatedly. And I'm sorry. Are we saying that reality breaking on May 24th because of the Ronnie somehow erased Poppy, flung her into Space Babies, the episode Space Babies? It had such, I mean, to be fair, actually, yeah, she has been around since forever. Anyway, the Doctor and Poppy finally meet. Now they go out back to the backyard and they say their goodbyes. And the Doctor tells her, "Oh, well, I'm sure we'll meet again, but not like this," right? Referring to his face, because he kind of technically killed himself to fix reality. Now he goes off into the TARDIS, and us, you know, in the know, who's seen the previous regenerations, are like, please do not. Like, come on, man. You've had 2 regenerations outside the TARDIS so far. Please, please do not go back to doing that. Like, the TARDIS cannot handle this. All right, clearly, it keeps freaking out every time you regenerate inside. He goes off into the middle of nowhere space. Um, and he sees Joy, right? The star that Joy became, and he's like, "Joy to the world," right? And then, boom! regeneration explosion explodes out, right? And we're like, wait, no, it's only been 2 years. We've only had 2 seasons of Shurigawa as the Doctor. And, and I'm like, no, there's no way they would. This entire time I was like, no, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. And he regenerates, and he regenerates into a familiar face. But not a previous face of the Doctor. Like the curator told us, we know he goes to old faces more than once, including Tom Baker. Before all is said and done, and retires and whatnot. But it is an old familiar face. He regenerates into another time lady. Enter the 16th Doctor, played by the one, the only, the Billie Piper. And it's like, what? Right? We had David Tennant as the Doctor saying, what? 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 And now it's our turn to go, what? 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 Because holy shit, I did not see that coming. I don't think anyone did, unless you were one of those rumor leak peoples who really go outside. Ooh, Terror of the Authons from season 8 of Classic is now up on YouTube. I am on the Claws of Axos. Guess I gotta wait. Anyway, so yeah, the credits then roll and we see Shurigawa as the Doctor, Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, and introducing Billie Piper. It doesn't say as the Doctor like it did with John Hurt and stuff, but holy shit. Holy shit. So season 3 and this Christmas we're gonna have a time lady again. We're gonna have a lady Doctor again. I mean, hey, we had Joe Martin, who I hope Joe Martin is one of the faces that he revisits, because, or they revisit, I guess. Like I hope we get another like life regeneration that is Joe Martin, and that they explore the timeless children in it. But hey, Billie Piper's here. You know, I will say I was hoping in the lead up to this episode that we would get Missy coming back, because we have the Master and the Tooth thing. So I was hoping we'd get like maybe she bi-generated, right? That's why Sacha Dhawan's Spy Master was like completely psycho, because all of the good, you know, is still technically in Missy or whatever, right? And then she'd just be like, hello there, Doctor, and just like shoots out the Ronnie or something, you know, something cool, right? I would love to just see Michelle Gomez as Missy again, just being all fabulous, but nope. Instead, we got Omega. Anyway, holy shit, I did not see that coming. Billie Piper as the 16th Doctor. I didn't see the 16th Doctor coming. I was like, oh, we'll get it at the end of season 3. It's all good. No, we got him at the end of season 2. And holy shit, I did not see Billie Piper being the Doctor coming. That's, oh, wait. No, every time it's a familiar face, we always have that retrospective thing, right? Like when it was Peter Capaldi, he was like, why did I choose this face? Why this face? And then when he returned to David Tennant face, it was like, why did I come back to this face? So I'm curious where season 3 is going. We got Billy Piper. We got Rose, right? We got Rose's face. That's, oh man. That's got to be confusing. Well, okay, no, we know Rose is fine, and Rose's mom is fine, and all of that. You know, it's all good. Otherworld. I think Mickey Smith might be around. Although, I think his actor had some troubles. Uh, that was before my time watching Doctor Who, so I don't know. But, whew, anyway, tell me what you guys thought of the episode. Tell me what you guys thought of the season. Tell me what you guys thought of this regeneration scene. Or, you know, Jodie Whittaker returning. Tell me what you guys thought of everything down in the comment section down below. That's going to be for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe for new. I will see you guys next time. And as always, stay bright.